Okay, in the shop. I did this whole video over like 3 parts over the last couple weeks and then deleted it tonight because, that's what I do. Anyways, when we left off, I had repaired the torque boxes and I had started to repair, I had finished the cowl. So beyond that, now we've got this corner complete. Super happy with the way this turned out. Looks almost factory, maybe not, but either way, it pretty much. We got our top piece scabbed in here. Looks good. Like I say, I didn't do that whole apron. I just did the top bit that was bad. There, I just unplugged my light. So anyways, I got that all done, finished up. I'm happy with that. Once the wiper motor's in there and the great big old hinge for the hood is back in place, there won't be too much to see there. Got to plug my light in here. Hold on, everybody. Suppose I could pause this, but where's the excitement in that? There we go. We got a light. Okay. So, yeah, this corner's pretty much finished up at this point. Ready to go. Still got to do the other side. Inside there, that guy's a little rusty, but nothing, like absolutely nothing compared to this side. This side was so bad. I'm thinking a guy should have probably fixed that or replaced the upper and lower, but like I say, next time. So anyways, motor's completely unhooked. The old Cleveland. She's in pretty rough shape. It runs nice, but the valve train's really noisy. The cam's gone. The lifters are concave. I had them out and checking them out. The cam might be salvageable, but it's just a stock 2V cam. Hardly worth it. As you can see, I took all my measurements, cut out the front aprons, and unbolted. You never hear that, but anyways, unbolted the rad support. So that's going to make removing this motor like 100 times easier or more. So that's good. She's ready to come out at this point, and we'll see what we're going to do motor-wise moving forward later. But for now, we'll get that out. I just got to borrow a engine hoist from a buddy, and we'll get her all out. So there's that beautiful trunk, all brand new. Loving it. I still got to grind the welds in here around there. I didn't do that yet, but whatever. We'll get to it. So I finished this stuff here up last weekend. I actually took a week off, went home for a visit with family, and I was glad to get back out here last weekend and again this weekend. So once the torque boxes were fixed up, I got my floor pans welded back in, both sides now. They're not super pretty, but boy, they're going to look really, really nice once the carpet's installed and the doors are shut. It'll be friggin' perfect. So, yeah, but they're in there solid. Welded them all the way around. Like I said in my last video, I got to redo this stuff here, so I'll take the wire wheel and just bring that down to shiny metal so she'll stick good, and then I got to weld the entire floor pan the rest of the way around on both sides. Not a big deal, just a lot of wire and a bit of time, a lot of time probably. I'm on my 5th roll of wire now in this thing, so we'll probably add about 12 or 14 pounds of weight to the car just in welding wire by the time we're done here. It's all good. I had a hell of a time getting these things in, these front pans. Holy shit, they were a bastard. I had jacks in there, jacking down on them, and just, I don't know. I didn't think they'd be that bad, but they were a pain in the ass. But they're done. I still got to do the front, got to fix these very front edge on these torque boxes on the rear. And I got to build a rear seat support that, you know, kind of goes down and across and back up. I'm gonna try and fab something out of I don't know, probably 18 or 20 gauge or whatever. Probably 18. Just something that resembles stock. These guys who I got it from, not unlike everything else that I've repaired, they had this beautiful piece of angle iron welded in there. So I took that out, and we'll build ourselves a proper setup. So realistically, once I get those items done inside the car there, and I get these front aprons on, I got to do the rear apron on that side. You can see over here the where your mounts were for the hinge. They're basically non-existent. They had some, you know, 1.5 2-inch washers on the backside. So hey, there you go. That's what people do, right? So anyways, I got to fix that up. So I've got the other thing too is there's this hole down here. You can see right there. I don't know what the deal is with that hole. It's not rust. It's literally cut open. I have no idea why anybody did that. It's awesome when you get these old cars that have got this, I guess, a rich history, you'd call it, of all kinds of hackery. And then you get a guy like me that continues with the hackery. And I don't care, but my stuff's at least going to be rust-free and relatively strong as it can be. So, regardless, that's where we're at. And won't be, we're probably, I don't know, I'd say we're about 85% through the metalwork at this point, because we get those front aprons and the rad support welded back in, and then as far as mechanical stuff, the car had all new brakes, new gas tank, brand new interior, brand new bumpers, etc. Like, it had a lot of good stuff. I'll probably put a new heater core in it while it's out. I might check and see if it's leaking, but I just don't. I figure now's the time, right? We can throw one in. And it needs brake lines, it needs fuel lines, depending on what type of fuel system I'm going to be running, whether it's going to be fuel injected or carbureted. I don't know the answers on that yet. And then that's the next thing is I'll just need to figure out what we're going to do engine-wise, and whether it's going to be a swap or leave it the way it is. Again, the car was a 302 car originally. It's got a 351 2V with an FMX in it. It's just a stock setup from a 72. It's the correct one for the car, just not for this car. And likewise, this car was originally bright red with the black stripes, and it was a Mach 1. It had the side tape stripes, and I think it had the E70 or whatever 14 wheels with the whatever with the caps, the inner and outer caps. So, you know, I don't mind. I like the black, but probably a couple of years it's going to need a paint job anyway, because this paint, although it's fresh, well, I know it's dirty as hell, but it's fresh. But it's not the best job. It's pretty good, but it's a good 20 footer, maybe 30. So it'll get me around for a little bit, and then we'll probably look into returning it to its original state. So as far as motor goes, you know, we can rebuild this. We can roller 302 it. You know, I'd probably roller this as well, because these freaking flat tappets, I don't know, man. I'm leery about running one. I did a couple of years ago and didn't have any issues that I know of, but I didn't put a ton of miles on them. It's hard to say. Hard to say how that stuff goes. So either way, not a ton of work left on the car, but definitely a ton of work left on the car. But we're getting through the metal. And to me, the metal's just the nuisance stuff. I can't wait to start on like actually working on this car, which in my opinion is, you know, the mechanical stuff. Let's get the rear end in, let's rebuild the springs, let's do the front suspension, whatever it needs. And most importantly, the fun stuff is let's build a motor. Maybe we'll LS swap it. How's that sound? You never know. Cheap, easy power. Couple grand, I can, for the price of the friggin' roller cam and this thing, I can make 450, 500 horse. So it just doesn't, it's hard not to do it. So either way, we'll see what the future holds. All right, that's boring enough for another installment, but as you can see, we're still cruising along, and we're actually, I don't know if we can really see the end in sight yet, but I know the end is in sight somewhere, so it's coming. Hopefully we'll have her done for July. I think it's July 9th to 13th is the, what do they call it? The Nationals here in Moncton anyway, so, and it's a pretty big outfit. A couple thousand cars or more every year, so all kinds of cruises every evening, a whole bunch of stuff. I'd love to have it done by then. We'll see how it goes. We're in February, so July's, you know, gives me enough time. I just don't know if I'm going to have enough money. We'll see. All right. Anyways, see you next time. Thanks for watching, if you made it this far.